Welcome, everybody, to another exclusive episode of the Wrestling vs. the World podcast. If you're enjoying your day, sweet. If not, what the hell ever. So, I thought, why not discuss the WWE 2K24 roster and the advertised DLC that's coming up, seeing what wrestlers we are getting within the game. I'm going to have to wait to get this game, though. It's going to take a little bit before I can get that onto my hard drive and everything, but let's look over the roster. I'm looking at WWE.2K.com. They got the list and everything. I don't know if there are direct links on the website to easily access this stuff. I got an email saying, hey, here's the roster and DLC. So I'll go through the roster first, and then I'll go through the DLC afterwards. So let's see. With the Legends/alumni, you got Randy Savage, Rick Rude, Roddy Piper, Stone Cold, Superstar Billy Graham. For some reason, that's got an asterisk next to it. There's probably got a note right on the bottom. Oh, okay, that's part of the Nightmare Family Pack. So I guess any asterisks is going to be stuff with DLC and everything. Got pre-order bonuses there and everything. Let's see, you got Andre the Giant, Bad Bunny, Batista, Beth Phoenix, Big Boss Man, Boogeyman, Booker T, the late Bray Wyatt, Bret Hart, the British Bulldog, Bruno Sammartino, Cactus Jack, China Diesel, Doink, Dude Love, Dusty Rhodes, Bebe, Eddie Guerrero. You got Eric Bischoff, Eve Torres. I'm surprised. Like, when was the last time, I got asked, when was the last time Eve did anything with WWE? I can't remember. You got Farouk, George the Animal Steel, Harley Race, two versions of Hogan. So you got the original and Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Jake Roberts, JBL, Jerry Lawler, Jim Neidhart, John Cena. So now they've upgraded him to legend status. Kane, better than the mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee, Glenn Jacobs. Ken Shamrock's in WWE game for the first time in quite a while. Kevin Nash, Angle, Lita, Mankind, Maurice, Mighty Molly, and Molly Holly. So Molly's got her alter ego from when she was teaming with Hurricane. Muhammad Ali, Razor Ramon, Rick Steiner, Ricky Steamboat, Rikishi, RVD, Ronda Rousey, even though she's no longer with the company. I'm surprised they've struck in a deal there. Scott Hall, so you got Hall and his other ego, Razor Ramon there. Scott Steiner. Let's see, did they... I can understand they gotta have Rick for the tag team, but I'm a little iffy there. Shane McMahon, Shawn Michaels, Stacy Keibler. Still got Stephanie in here. They got Stardust. Oh my god, they actually have Stardust in here. Why? I bet Cody is looking at this list. He's like, oh my god, what are they doing? They better have good reason to be trying to bring that character back. Let's see. Yeah, Xbox's sixth character that he had in WCW. $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. I would rather not see him in there, seeing what his family's been into. The Fiend, Hurricane, Rock, Undertaker, Triple H, Trish Stratus, Tyler Breeze. I get he's on the alumni part, but I thought he still had some kind of working relationship with the WWE. Ultimate Warrior, Umaga, Uncle Howdy. I guess he's going to be a playable character. Vader, Wade Barrett, William Regal, X-Pac, and Yokozuna. Now you also got the Raw roster, so I guess they're putting Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, maybe like if you're trying to go through like Universe mode or something. So for Raw, you got Akira Tozawa, Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Big E, Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed, who makes too many goofy faces, Candice LeRae, Carmella, Cedric Alexander, Chad Gable, Chelsea Green, Cody, well, Damian Priest, Dexter Loomis, who I forgot was still there, Dominic Mysterio, Drew McIntyre, Eric. You also got Ivar of the Viking Raiders, Finn Balor, Giovanni, Gunther, not the same Gunther that serves coffee for friends, Indy Hartwell, JD Madonna, why is he there? Jey Uso, Gargano, Kofi, Liv, Ludwig, Maxine. I mean, I know there's mixed controversy about her receiving the mixed reaction that she got and getting booed and everything at House Show. Natalia, Nikki, Otis, Piper Niven, thank God it's not Dewdrop, Raquel, Rhea, Ricochet, R-Truth. I'm surprised they know what show he's even on. Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, get rid of the freaking part of his name. He doesn't need to be referred to that every single time. Shayna, you got Shinsuke, Sonya, Tegan, Miz, Tommaso, Valhalla, which is just Sarah Logan, who's never wearing shoes, Xavier Woods, and Zoe Stark. I mean, I'm surprised they even still got Big Eves listed on part of a brand at this point, because like he hasn't been able to get in the ring since he got his neck broken. Thankfully, I heard he's getting better and everything. Hopefully, he can come back at some point. Now, the SmackDown roster. You got AJ Styles, Alba Fire, Angelo Dawkins, Ashanti Adonis. Surprised they're still there. Asuka, Austin Theory, why? Bobby Lashley, Bayley, Butch, Cameron Grimes. I forgot he was still there too. Charlotte, Cruz del Toro. Isn't that Robbie E from TNA? I believe that's who it is. Because I know he's part of the LWO. Dakota Kai, Elton Prince, Grayson Waller, I'm Tired of You, Isla Dawn, Io Sky, Jimmy Uso, Joel Quinn Wild. Now, Joel Quinn. I know at least one of them is Robbie E. I know it. I can't remember. It might be Joel Quinn. Otherwise, Cruz del Toro. I can't remember off the top of my head. Carl Anderson, Karen Cross, Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, Kevin Owens, Kit Wilson, LA Knight, yeah. Logan Paul, why? Luke Gallows, Mitchin, Montez, MVP, Omos, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Ridge, Rude, Roman Reigns. I mean, I'm surprised to see Rude being a playable character, though, because I know he's now retired. Santos Escobar, Scarlett, Sheamus, Shotzi, Solo, Tamina, Zaya, and Zelina. Then you got NXT. Gonna be some names that I don't recognize. Andre Chase, don't know who you are. Angel Garza, Apollo, Axiom, it seems familiar. Baron, still. Blair Davenport. Braun, I'm surprised they still got him listed on NXT. I thought he made his way up to SmackDown at this point. I know he's kind of bouncing between shows, but still. Brooks Jensen, don't know who you are. Brutus Creed, isn't he the dude that looks like a mix between Big Dick Johnson and Simon Dean? Carmelo Hayes, Channing Stacks Lorenzo, never heard of you. Cora Jade, Damon Kemp, who? Dijak, stop pointing at your eyes. Drew Gulak. I'm surprised he's still around. I can't remember the last time he did anything. Duke Hudson, what have you done since you got your head shaved? Fallon Hensley, who? Gigi Humberto, have you gotten a personality yet? Ilya Dragunov, tired of hearing about you. Ivy Nile, JC Jane, Jinder Mahal, the modern day Maharaja. I've already talked about you. Joe Coffey, a.k.a. Jones, Jim Jones there. Joe Gacy. One of them is reminding me of friggin' Jim Jones, like Jonestown and all that shit. Josh Briggs, Julius Creed, Mark Coffey. So you got Coffey Brothers. Give me some coffee, damn it. Nathan Frazier, Nikita Lyons, Stop Sitting on People. Noam Dar, Roxanne Perez, Sangha, not sure who. Scripps, I think that's Reggie under a mask. Thea Hale, that sounds familiar. Tiffany Stratton, I think she's on NXT now, and I've heard great things about her, so... I mean, it seems like she's enjoying her time in WWE, so cool. Tony D'Angelo, Trick Williams, Tyler Bate. Although I think he's on SmackDown now, so the roster's not fully up to date, but still. Veer Mahan! How long until he comes back to Raw? Winnie Chu, Stop Sleeping, Wesley, and Wolfgang. And then managers, you got Adam Pearce, B-Fab, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Kathy Kelly. Who is she supposed to manage? Mick Foley. Isn't he... Wait, didn't he have his name on the alumni/legends section? No! So you can play as his alter egos and everything, Cactus Jack, Dude Love, and Mankind, but you can't play as solely as Mick Foley. Weird. Miss Elizabeth, Paul Bearer, Paul Heyman, and Teddy Long. So some of them, like I said, says the ones that are in asterisks, they're saying part of the Nightmare Family Pack. Pre-order bonus offer available through March 7, 2024, which is the day before the game officially releases for anybody who doesn't pre-order it. Pre-order, you got stuff from My Faction with Cody and Pharaoh and Dusty Rhodes. Nightmare Family Pack is included with Deluxe and 40 Years of WrestleMania Edition for digital pre-orders. Yeah. Now let's go through the DLC. Because we got a handful of packs that are going to be coming through. And we've got the dates set as well, although it's going to take a little bit. And it's going to come with the season. Season Pass is going to be available in the Deluxe and 40 Years of WrestleMania Edition. So with the DLC, or the Season Pass, you'll gain access to all the DLC character packs for free, basically, rather than having to buy them individually. So, here is the DLC list and available dates. DLC 1 is going to be known as the ECW Punk Pack, which is going to be available May 15th. You're going to get CM Punk, Bubba Ray Dudley, Devon Dudley, Sandman, and Terry Funk. So I guess they're kind of going back to the whole ECW roster originals days and everything. And as well as Terry Funk. And then also in My Faction, you'll get the ECW Paul Heyman manager card and some superstar cards. I guess the superstar cards are the same wrestlers there too. DLC number 2 you will get on June 26th. Get Post Malone, which feels weird. Sensational Sherry, whether it looks like she's going to be a wrestler because they don't have her listed as a manager in the name. Both members of the Headbangers, so Mosh and Thrasher, Honky Tonk Man, Jimmy Hart will be a manager, and then they'll also be available in my faction. DLC pack number 3, you got the Pat McAfee pack, so I guess it doesn't come with the antivirus software. July 24, you're going to get McAfee. It says playable co-hosts. Stay tuned for more info, so they're still going to update this, as well as the manager cards and superstar cards in my faction, so it's still not finalized yet. For DLC 4, Global Superstars pack for September 20th, get Jade Cargill, Nia Jax, who I'm surprised is not just in the game by default because she's been in WWE long enough, Michelle McCool, same thing with Carlito, surprisingly. Kairi Sane, I know she came back, but I mean, I don't know if they were in development and everything, setting everything up by the time she came back mid last year. Lyra Valkyria, sorry. Dragon Lee, and then you'll get those in Superstar, or my faction. And for the 5th and final DLC, November 13th, you'll get the WCW pack. You get Diamond Dallas Page, the Iron Sheik, Mr. Perfect, Great Muta, and Lex Luger. And then you also get Superstar cards. Now, let me quickly check Cage Match. I don't remember the Great Muta being in a WWE video game prior to this. I honestly don't know. Let me check. Wrestling games. Yeah, he has never been in a WWE video game prior to this. Because, like, the list of video games that we got here that he was in, Fire Pro Wrestling's second bout, which was back in 91, got Token Retsuden, both games, Virtual Pro Wrestling 64, and as well as the other two, Tugan Retsuden 3 and 4, later on in 98, 99, Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, All-Star Pro Wrestling, Fire Pro Wrestling, standard for Game Boy. Oh, that's Game Boy Advance. All-Star Pro Wrestling 2, Fire Pro Wrestling 2, King of Coliseum Red and 2, Fire Pro Wrestling Returns, Wrestle Kingdom, and Wrestle Kingdom 2. So, this will be the very first time, I believe, altogether, where he's in a... It has to possibly be in a... well, I mean, I would say an overall, like, American-based wrestling video game, which may be true. But, I mean, you also got some that were released, like Fire Pro Wrestling Returns, which is also in America, but... Big first time being in a mainline, like, American-based wrestling video game overall. So this is going to be a surprise seeing Great Muta in the game. How many people are going to get misted during all this? Great Muta versus Shinsuke Nakamura missed match. So yes, that is the overall roster in DLC. I think, like I said, some DLC wrestlers I think people are also surprised is just not in the game right away. They have to be DLC. Like I said, CM Punk is kind of a surprise. I mean, like, when you look at the Fiend character and everything, he was available not too long after WWE 2K20 released. And that was like a couple months after the Fiend character overall debuted at SummerSlam 2019. Like, I know that game was a mess, but still, to get a character put together that fast is pretty exhilarating. So to not see CM Punk available is kind of a surprise right away. I don't know why Post Malone is there. Like, him and wrestling just don't seem to fit. I don't know if he's a big wrestling fan. I'm not 100% certain. Jade Cargill, I mean, yeah, it was kind of expected. She hasn't been in WWE that long. Nia Jax, I'm surprised they didn't just add her right away. They could have just recycled her a little bit from past games. And same thing with Carlito as well. He's been back around for not even a year yet, so it would have given them time. Kairi Sane is a little surprising too-ish. DDP, that's a little surprise there too. And Lex Luger, isn't he always usually like in a base game rather than DLC? I don't know. So yeah, it seemed like the roster is promising. The roster is very promising, even though, like I said, some are just surprising me, like Mick Foley being a manager instead of a playable character as just himself. And who is Kathy Kelly supposed to manage? Who? That is just a weird thing. Like, she's like an analyst. Basically, like, in terms of, like, what you see her role is within WWE. But who's she supposed to manage? Or, like, I know she's going to do interviews and everything. I guess maybe she's replaced... Maybe if they're doing, like, the My Career mode or whatever My Rise, I believe they renamed it. Maybe she's supposed to do, like, backstage interviews and everything instead of Renee Young. But still, a manager? Feels weird. So anyway, that is the entire roster, including upcoming DLC. Let me know what y'all thought in the comments section below, if there is the option based on these streaming services. If you enjoyed today's episode, folks, please remember, leave a like or rate or whatever options there are with this podcast on whatever streaming service that you're listening to this podcast is available on. Follow or subscribe or any of that stuff, and I will catch you all later. Thanks for listening, folks. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that, and peace out, and good day, everybody.